Impact is very simple, and this is why I think I can be the greatest entrepreneur of this generation. I don't think anybody wants to give more than me.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, my first question is obviously from where I am in my life. I'm a mom with 2 small kids. What would you say the one thing that your mom did for you that every mom should be doing for their small kids?
She listens.
Okay, listened.
I think the number one mistake that is happening in modern day parenting is a mix of 2 things. It's imposing the parent's ambition on the kid without actually watching the kid. And it's allowing other people's opinions to dictate their parenting.
Got it.
So it's their own selfish want, like me, cliche, I want my kids to be an entrepreneur without watching that they have none of those tendencies. Or number 2, me, because I was so parented well by my parents, listening to them of what I should be doing. Or the worst of the worst, which is people are just letting their friends dictate. Like it's crazy for me to watch what an incredible, important role it is for everybody in the world when they're a parent. Mm-hmm. The impact is enormous.
Well, right, especially at a young age, right? Then your peers become very much involved and become your influence. But, you know, I've seen a lot of different videos with your parents, and obviously when you're in the wine business and you like you just said, but obviously you wanted to go into the wine business at some point. Was it because your parents kind of pushed you that way and then you kind of realized you wanted to pivot?
I think there's a really interesting thing that I've been thinking a lot about based on this question around nudging versus cramming. Okay. So my parents were the initial nudge, mm-hmm. and it actually, in my opinion, was a remarkable nudge because it was based on something I believe in. My parents looked me dead in the face around 13, 14 and said, "You're an atrocious student."
Right.
Let me rephrase, my mom did. Yeah. My mom does the talking. "You're a terrible student. That means on your 14th birthday that's coming up, you will be working in the liquor store. In Dad's store. Right. From now on, no more baseball card shows, no more friends. Every weekend, you will be going with Dad to the liquor store every Thanksgiving vacation, every Christmas, and every single day of your 8th grade, this was my 8th grade, right. Of your summer, you will be working. Because if you're not gonna be a good student, that means you're gonna be a worker." And I am struggling right this second to fully know what I thought. I was devastated about the baseball card shows. Right. And I kind of negotiated very quickly. I'm like, I gotta do some. So I got that in, thank God. I wasn't devastated about playing. I was kind of like, okay. And pretty quickly, by the 5th or 6th day weekend that I went to work, I kind of liked it. Even though I was doing terrible shit, bagging ice. It was boring. Right. It was boring. It was $2 an hour. And I was making real money as a kid at baseball cards. So that was, they nudged, and that nudge turned out okay. I mean, you could also say they forced it. I don't know. They nudged. They pushed me in that direction, and it worked out. But I also watched them push my brother in that direction, and he didn't want to work at A&P and then at the wine store, and they didn't force it. They adjusted.
So besides the baseball cards,
yes.
Like, did you ever think, like, I feel, well, everyone now, you've become like the Oprah of entrepreneurs, right? Like you've kind of like transcend any group, age. Everyone seems to, like, when I told people I'm doing this podcast, people were more excited about you than like I could have said any other person in the world, right? First of all, did you ever think that you'd have such an impact?
No.
Okay, and that's a good question. That's a good answer.
Yeah, it's just the truth. I didn't. If you asked me 4 years ago or 6 years ago, I would say yes. If you asked me in the way I think you asked me, which is at my youth, I thought I was a businessman.
Right.
And so a businessman doesn't get the luxury to actually have such an impact on humanity.
But what's the one thing about you that you think is the reason why it resonates and impacts so many people? Like your style, obviously, but
well, you know, I actually would this is something I'm really thinking a lot about. I'm pretty convinced at this point that my style is slowing up the process.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
There's an enormous amount of percentage of people that don't like me at first.
But you grow on people.
Fair.
Right.
But if I was a hair, maybe 15 to 30%, a little less, I think I would be much further along.
Much further, I mean.
Now, that being said, I also think that would then have a cap because it wouldn't be my authentic self. So I think maybe today I would be further along, but at 63, I think I will be like.
Well, that's crazy to me because I think that, I think everyone would say that you're growing exponentially fast.
I am. And
you've become like a household name when really, besides like Elon Musk in the entrepreneur space, I don't really know many other people that would actually have that. You're synonymous with that word. You know?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's others that obviously have it. I think as it skews younger, I'm in a real spot. Like, I've gotten to the point subconsciously when I walk by young males anywhere publicly, I'm now surprised they don't know who I am.
That's right.
Which is crazy because 3 years ago I was like stunned anyone did, right? So that's clearly happened.
And women, by the way, too.
Yeah, plenty of women. I mean, by the way, plenty of women, plenty of 60-year-old men, but if you're talking 17 to 26-year-old dude walks by me in the airport, I'm like looking at him like, bro, what the fuck? You don't know who I am? Like that demo for sure. Look, there's a lot of entrepreneurs that I still think, if you looked at Google search queries, are further ahead than me. I think I might have the most momentum. Right. Mark Cuban's ahead of me. Like because of Shark Tank, all the sharks have the potential.
Why is impactful?
Impact is very simple. And this is why I think I can be the greatest entrepreneur of this generation. I don't think anybody wants to give more than me.
Well, that's the thing. That was my next thing.
I'm not playing for money as much as my contemporaries. I'm playing for legacy and admiration. My North Star is admiration and legacy.
Yeah.
And trying to buy the New York Jets. It's a very important kind of like sentence because I really don't give a fuck if I buy the Jets. I just like playing so much that the game of trying to is fun as shit.
Right, so that's your goal. That's the goal.
That's like a business goal. I'd really like that to happen.
But besides the style, then what do you think is one quality about you that has that type of influence and impact?
My intent is to give.
So that's where you're starting from a
different
place.
Do you know how stupid this 30 minutes is for me right now?
Probably very.
Yes. I have nothing else to say.
Yeah.
My actions do not map anything like the other people that are looking like me.
Yeah.
There's nothing similar to me than my contemporaries. I'm actually giving back continuously, at scale, vigorously, and they're not.
Right.
There's not a single entrepreneur of top 1,000 fame that is grossly giving back.
Right. Like how many times do you do things like this?
A lot. And every time I feel a level of anxiety because I'm like, fuck, I have a lot of shit to do.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well.
I feel great right now, but I mean this. This is a very transparent conversation.
Yeah, you feel anxious.
Elon and Sarah Blakely and fucking Mark Cuban and fucking Barbara Corcoran, they're not doing this. They're picking the thing. They're doing Joe Rogan because you're getting fucking trillion eyeballs. Right.
So that's why I saw this thing about Taylor Swift. You said she hacked culture, but
with Taylor, what the difference between Taylor and I is I talk about it in a business format, and she was doing it for self-interest because she knew it would get her more awareness. I don't know her to know how much of that she loved. Like, does she love popping up at a wedding out of nowhere and doing the song? Or was she, because every time the media knew, so she was manipulating in a good way.
But she's very strategic.
She's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know what, I'm gonna take back manipulating because I don't think it's a good word. She was strategic about it, and everybody won. Great that she got picked up by every magazine. You know what else was great? The 103 people at that wedding at the Jersey Shore that lost their fucking mind. It was amazing.
Absolutely.
Where I'm starting to realize with me is like, oh right, I don't have anywhere close to as much money as I could, and that's because I actually don't value that part.
Right.
And that's where I always have to really know somebody to know where they sit on the curve of only about the money, not about money at all, or somewhere in between like me. I just used to think I was 50-50. I'm starting to realize maybe I'm even 20 to the
right,
get,
yeah,
you know,
to
like
the other
I'm
side,
not. And honestly, I think that could change. There is a concern in my own mind that somewhere in my 70s or 60s, I may get resentful that I gave so much and I didn't get mine, that I may change my behavior. I'm hoping not. but I'm being really transparent here. It runs through my mind. I'm leaving an uncomfortable amount of money on the table my whole life. I built a business for my dad and left with nothing. I started with a company with my brother and gave him 50-50. He left early on, and I bought him out. I don't have anywhere close to the wealth that I could, and then I don't monetize my audience the way everybody else does. I continue, I'm building a machine, not for the business, for the long term. So right now, if you're a really thoughtful money person, you shit on me if you knew everything about me. I just think it actually works out.
I see that when you said that, I didn't even realize that about you. See, I thought that you would be a master at monetizing. I mean, not this 25 minutes, but...
I think I am. I just think I'm losing 31-0 in the first quarter.
But it's a long game, right?
It is.
I mean...
This is it.
You're young still.
I believe that to be true.
Now, were you always a forward thinker?
Yes.
I'm thinking because you predict things. I saw on a bunch of things I watched about you on Larry King, God knows how many years ago that was. You predicted things that actually do happen. You were just but seriously, a lot of people that doesn't happen.
It's funny. I see patterns much earlier than most, and I'm willing to have conviction to say it out loud, and I understand human beings, and so I understand what they're gonna do.
Yeah, you understand human nature.
I understand human nature.
Right. So you should have been a psychologist also.
I am a psychologist.
Yeah. Every day you are.
If one of my two kids is a very renowned psychologist, I'd be like, knew it. If they decide to go the other way, fuck on. Look, growing up, one of my two children, looking at the level of success, the cliche thing kids do is they run away from it.
Right.
They don't want to be compared. I wouldn't want to be compared to, who wants to be Michael Jordan's fucking son playing basketball? Right? Who wants to be Wayne Gretzky? And I'd like to be all time, and I would have empathy for my children being I don't need a world of everyone comparing me to what he.
But no one knows who they are. You've done an amazing job at having there's such a disconnect between your family and you. I mean, honestly, I haven't found one. I mean, if I went and searched, but I would think that you were a single dude just running around New York.
I get it.
You actually have kids and a family, and it's. So how being so public, your entire world is
a decision we made.
Videotaped.
Yeah, except my personal life.
Nothing.
Nothing.
But don't people see you walking around the streets with your kids and
Every
they take
day.
pictures?
My kids think I'm massively famous. There's not a single time that we go out that somebody doesn't stop us.
And then yet I never see those pictures.
Yeah, we've chosen not to do that part.
Right.
I don't want to compound it.
Right.
I really do think everybody will know me, and I do think the fact that I don't share that part subconsciously, a lot of people see me with my kids, my wife or what have you, and don't bother because they realize that I didn't open that up. Other people are putting their children in every single thing, and then they're gonna roll up. You've given the public the permission to engage. People do it because I don't speak for everybody, but a lot of people do it because it gets more likes, which is fucking devastating to me.
That's what people do.
I'm devastated by that. And so, a lot of people tell me a lot of things and then, throw judgment at me, and then I'm watching them whore out their children for social media likes, and I say to myself, in my mind, because I never put people on blast one-on-one. Publicly, I generically put things on blast, but I will never put anybody on blast one-on-one. I'm too empathetic and know I don't know everything. But when somebody casts judgment on me, literally a friend, an acquaintance, a stranger will cast judgment over a drink, a dinner, walking in the airport, and I sit there and think, especially if it's a friend or acquaintance, and I know that they do what they do with their children, I laugh inside my head.
Right.
I'm like, you're telling me I curse too much. You're fucking you're putting your children in a precarious position.
Right.
At your own self-interest.
It's amazing your perspective. It's I think it's because it's a little bit. It's so unique to what the masses are, and that's why people are so they gravitate to it so much. I watched another thing.
It lacks fear. I'm not worried about fear. I'm going through one right now on LinkedIn. I have a thing that is a program to join our team, and I want you to make stuff to join the team. Here comes the elitist creative community saying, fuck you, Gary Vee, spec work, you're better than this. You're making you should pay people, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't believe that. I do shit for free all the time.
Like this.
I speak for free, even though I get paid $150,000 because I strategically believe that attention in that audience was worth it for me. This is America. I'm not imposing people to make me free videos. We're trying to, I pay plenty of people to make. It's not that that's my only thesis. I just want to grow a little bit and hedge my bet. We've picked a lot of wrong people. I'd like to see people make something. for me. I don't feel that it's exploitation.
It's not.
Nobody's requiring them to. If they are so great and get paid, they don't need to. But for a lot of us, we're not as entitled as those people that are casting judgment and had mommy and daddy's money to go to the right school and things of that nature. And you need to kick your fucking foot through the door. And the way you do that is by fucking doing something for free.
Absolutely.
You like that one?
No, but it's true though.
It is true. And I'm sorry we're hurting your market value, but this is called supply and demand.
And I'm sure you get offers probably by the 1,000 a day for people to work for you for free. Regardless. Thousands, I'm sure. I mean.
Thousands.
And even that's a competitive market, right?
I'll be honest with you. I think people that are mad that there's spec work going on now are going to be really mad in a decade when people pay people to work for them.
Yeah.
Wait till that can opens. Wait till people understand what's really going on. It's just supply and demand.
It is supply and demand.
It scares the fuck out of me that I could have an entire Team Gary in 20 years, I'm predicting, that is paying me to be there. Whether I can get there emotionally, that is already the next step. You know, I'm able to do, I believe in show me your work. Others clearly with the comments said no. The next one's an interesting one, but I think it's gonna happen. Whether I decide to do that or not, I don't know. I lean towards no as I sit here today. My POV may evolve. It's a much better use of money than going to art school.
Oh, I agree. But then you don't believe in mentors. So these people are all wanting to be mentors.
I don't believe in mentors to me, and I believe there's some other people out there that only learn by listening and watching and doing. By the way, I wish I believed in mentors. Let me phrase. I wish my brain worked in a way that could learn from a mentor.
Right. Or I saw something that was very, very clever, which was that mentors are from what happened already.
That's why I don't value them as much as most people.
And you're so much about the future.
Or the current.
Or the current. Right.
And so, you're right. And then I think most things are commoditized. Like, they're gonna, like, I'm at the, you know, first of all, I had it intuitively because I learned it from, listen, one thing that I underestimate is I was a true businessman from the age of 6 years old. It's all I did. I sold, I bought, I traded, I made signs. By the fucking time I even went into my dad's store, I fucking wish I was making content at 14. Right. When I tell you that the videos of my audacity of what I was gonna do in my dad's liquor store, like the level of shitting on my dad, and it wasn't shitting on my dad, but like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, as a 14-year-old, and then now, you know, being able to look at it 30 years later, I was right. They weren't guesses. And then I say to myself, my God, I learned natural talent, DNA, right? And I learned a lot from 6 to 14. Who the fuck's even doing that?
Right.
People are going to, like, people don't learn until they're like 22 is their first day.
But how do you even teach that? See, like you said yourself, you had a natural gift, a natural talent.
You can only get people, I can be a much better singer, but I'm not gonna be, you know, Rihanna. Like, so you can teach it, but yes, talent is part of the equation.
It is. And people, I mean, how much do you think is work ethic and discipline versus just pure talent?
I think work ethic and discipline is 51% of the equation, and that talent's 49. I think I just see too much talent wasted daily. Mm-hmm. You have to do.
Right.
This is something I've been talking a lot about. Like
do it.
You have to you have to practice. You have to like watching athletes, especially. It's very obvious. They're you know, two people and one's so much more talent. It's not even close.
Right.
But they're jerking off.
Right.
They're not putting in the work, and slowly but surely, the tortoise
catches up
and passes the hare, because where why is less about actually the physical talent. It's all the stuff they're doing off the field. It's all the mentality stuff that actually undermines their whole career.
Right. You think that the mentality, I thought that actually helps their whole career, is the mental. Is their mental strength, their mental discipline to work it.
It's the better athlete, it's the better entrepreneur, it's the better executive at skill.
Absolutely.
That their mindset of like work ethic and just like mindset. undermines them and they lose.
Speaking of mind, what do you think of these masterminds that all these people on social media are just they're doing? They're charging $100,000, $50,000.
It's not my favorite model.
Right, and then they're taking a lot of people who are putting all their money and investment into these masterminds.
I've been a very historic, listen, I could tomorrow start a mastermind and probably make $100 million.
Oh, yeah,
I really believe that.
That's how you can make all the money that you think you're losing or leaving on the table.
It's not my favorite model because I don't think it's as, I don't think, you know, I just think there's honestly, it's just supply and demand. It's no different than what I talked about video creators. I believe there's too much good information for free on the internet,
Google.
Google. Listen, I'll be honest with you, it's a very big agenda of mine to not force people to buy into bad masterminds.
Right. Well, and also like all these great internet marketers who, put themselves on a platform where they're teaching people these things, but they're charging people all their money. And so like,
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad behavior going on. I'm sure there are people out there who charge people.
Yeah, like $50,000 or $100,000. I had some guy yesterday tell me he spends $175,000 a year on these masterminds from the same people that you and I'm sure the ones that I'm thinking of that right?
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
And
by the way, what I was about to say, I'm sure there's somebody who's just starting out, she's got a $1,500 a month or year mastermind, and I'm sure it's ROI positive. Mm-hmm. But as you go up the scale, I think people are doing that. It'd be the reason I build a $100 million one. Because people would want to say they're in it because I'm a brand.
Well, yeah. Well, also
it's the same reason people wear $80. It's the Gary V's. It's the Nike. It's just whatever. Like it's how we express. An entrepreneur would be expressing themselves by being a part of it.
Right. And all these people who
It's why I like doing sneakers and wines. I apologize.
No,
because
please.
I also want to build businesses, but I want it to be there in case you drink wine, in case you wear sneakers, and you are grateful for the free. You can do it.
But you are building a business. VaynerMedia, VaynerSports.
But I mean, my closest to having anything with my audience is actual physical product that I feel they can, if they live that life, could do versus me holding back my best content to charge you. What everyone's doing is they're putting out their worst content to then make you pay for their best content.
That's right.
And I'm putting out my best content, and it's better than everybody else's content.
It is, because it's not, but it is actually.
So that's what's happening.
Can I ask you one more question? I know you have to
yes.
jump. Now I can't even remember the question.
No, go ahead. Slow it down.
What was I going to say? I was just going to say it, and now I can't remember what it is.
So go somewhere else, and then maybe it'll come back to you. That's what I always do when I forget something.
Yeah, I was going to say something. What's the one thing that you think that everybody, no matter what the business is that they're in, should be doing right now?
Producing content at scale.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just, this is what's so fun to be considered. One of my favorite things that are going on now that I have so much scale on Instagram is when people leave a comment and they think they're trolling me, and it's the biggest compliment. Gary, you say the same shit. It's my single favorite moment in my career right now.
How many people
I'm like, yes, I do.
But that's good. That's because it's the same.
And what makes me talented is I say it in 1,800 trillion different ways.
Repetition.
And I will always say it in the newest places to say it. And it will be contextual to TikTok and LinkedIn, just like it was for Twitter and Instagram. And I'll eventually catch you at the moment that you're ready to hear me.
Exactly.
After you go to all the other shortcuts and all the other things that you don't want to be doing it my way, slow, shitty, right, kind, good, giving. When you hate that because you want fast, quick, a lot, and you go through it all and none of it works, or my favorite one, when it worked and then it collapsed. My best people consuming my content for me are the ones who actually had success for a minute in the other way, and it all came down.
Right, exactly.
And then they realized why, and they come. Not the ones that don't have success fast. They're also good. They believe in my way, they didn't get success. The one that's most interesting to me is she fucking did it. She made a ton of money in 18 months, and it all went away.
I'm curious, because you're such a motivator. What's the percentage? I know you probably don't know this, but the percentage of people who actually implement and execute on what you say, right?
Well, to what I really am saying currently, almost no one. I'm telling everybody to produce 100 pieces of content a day.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not sure if there's anyone doing it.
Well, how would someone actually do that much?
60 tweets.
A day?
Write 60 things. Everyone has talk about everything and anything. Like, you can do it. It can actually happen.
Right. No,
like,
I understand that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you get in, this is why document over create was my big breakthrough in that one sit down with that kid. Mm-hmm. It helped so many people. I'm not asking you to create 100 things. I'm asking you to make 100 things. That can be, if you go all the way religiously there, when we leave here, not only do we take a selfie together, but you take a photo of that and you say, this is Gary's view. Why doesn't he want to buy the Knicks? And it's like question, and then, You're just making. All of a sudden, because you put, why does he want to buy a Knicks? Somebody sees Knicks and engages with you and they become aware. Like, people don't get how it actually works.
It actually, like, it's like everything's a conduit kind of.
And then if you could afford it, you start building out the thesis. You record and you post-produce at scale. And you produce for TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and your podcast. And, that's how.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. But to remind everybody, before everybody goes exactly where I know they're going, I was doing it at scale in 2006 to 2011 by myself while running a liquor business. I was doing, that's why I have so many tweets. And it's all documented. Go back to what I was doing on Twitter in 2006, 7, 8. It's all there.
Yeah.
It's all there.
I know.
Because you're going to say it's D-Rock and it's the team and it's this and that. And I'm like, cool. That's now. That's what you can get to if you do it right. A decade later.
That's amazing.
So I just believe in bringing value to the audience is the biggest leverage point.
Is there any other companies, I'm trying to wrap it up.
It's okay.
Is there anything beside, I know TikTok's another one, another thing that you see that people should be kind of keeping their eye on? No,
TikTok and LinkedIn are more than enough. I've been very loud about this the last 100 days. Like before, back to like why I love this question. Before we get to the next one, good news, we have 2 right now.
Right.
We really didn't have that many a couple of months ago. Like a year ago, I wasn't that excited about much. It was like more Instagram. LinkedIn and TikTok have opened up for everybody in a real way.
TikTok is kind of like, isn't it very, and maybe this is just me and because I'm an old woman kid, but like, isn't it kind of like a young person thing? Like,
you mean like Facebook was?
Well, yeah, but like besides making like videos, what else could you do? I'm not going to start singing a song on. Well, maybe I should.
Why don't you just put out the content that you'd put out on Instagram? See, what people don't understand is platforms evolved. If this interview was happening in 2011,
right,
you would say, but Gary, isn't Instagram for photographers who are taking nice photos? Wasn't kids yet.
Yeah, oh, wasn't
Instagram
kids yet?
Did not start as kids. Instagram started as photographers.
You're right, and then it evolved into...
Period. End your sentence there.
Yeah.
Then it evolved. What I'm good at is understanding the potential evolvement of a platform that already has scale.
Right. I understand that.
You got it?
I do.
So there are people right now that are getting views under TikToks that they don't get anywhere close after 4 years of investment on Instagram. And they're doing things that have nothing to do with TikTok. It's not on trending. It's not lip sync. It's not Visco girls. They're doing a burger video, painting, a cowboy video for 60-year-olds, and it's working because there's so much attention on the platform and there's not enough creators.
Yeah.
It's just supply and demand.
Supply and demand. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it with this because this podcast is all about habits and hustle. We know you got that. What are some of your daily habits that you do daily to keep you as on point as
I make pretend that my family dies.
You make pretend that your family dies.
There's something I do, maybe not every day, but comes through my head pretty often. If you asked me why I'm me, it's because every day, every other day, no shorter than minimum once every 4 days, I will role play in my mind the tragic death of somebody in my inner family.
Really?
Really.
Okay, and what do you do with that information?
What I do with that information is I use it as the framework to keep everything in perspective.
Okay, that sounds good.
It's really easy for me to be okay with the 3 bad news things that I got today about lost revenue at Vayner, when yesterday I made pretend that a tree landed on my dad's head and killed him.
So you keep perspective.
I'm being serious.
No.
I know it's ludicrous. Back to, I say different shit. I really mean what I'm talking about. And because I'm good with feeling feelings with myself, it really works because I get really sad and scared and really don't want that to happen. And then I'm super thankful that that didn't happen and everything else is, one of my best friends lost his father last night.
Oh my
Real life.
I'm sorry.
Right? And he's really, really sad. And all the shit we've been talking about for the last year around business and other things just miraculously didn't matter at all for the last 3 months that he's been in the hospital every day and every second. Just doesn't fucking matter. So if that's what we all do when it happens, why not live like that when it doesn't happen?
That's 100% true.
There's no question that I am much happier than the majority of the universe because of perspective, and it is completely predicated on the singular variable of health of the people I love. It is old Eastern European grandma talk.
Right.
My grandma and my great grandma would only, talk about health. Health. I mean, they were super flawed women and had a lot of mishigas, but at their macro, I am. I know Vaynerchuk is not a very Jewish name.
You're Jewish?
I am. That's how I got out of Russia.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I didn't know you were Jewish.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. Obviously, because I was born in the Soviet Union, I don't know, people don't know this. In communism, religion is illegal.
Yeah.
It's a very non-known thing in America. So I don't have an incredibly deep Jewish faith-based infrastructure because my grandparents and my parents didn't grow up with it.
But your mannerisms are very Jewish, actually.
Well, now it all makes sense.
You always felt Jewish to me, but I didn't think you were Jewish.
I am. I know.
I'm so excited, but.
Well, I mean, look, like anything else, whether it's the same reason I'm excited when I find out people are Jet fans. Whenever you associate with somebody in your inner, or entrepreneurs or Jersey people, like it's
Jewish
all.
is different.
Of course, because religion's one of the core things.
Yeah.
By the way, for me, Jets is bigger than Jewish, but I understand. Like to me, I am more Jets than I am Jewish.
Really?
Really. I associate more tribe DNA with fellow Jet fans than I do with fellow Jews.
What is it about the Jets? Like why the Jets? Why so much? Why not the Yankees?
Because it was the first team I fell in love with in America. I have now psychoanalyzed myself that it means America to me. It means freedom, acceptance. The kids in the neighborhood were like, "You're one of us."
Yeah.
And then I just watched every game. So it's just sheer practice, like just emotional. Plus, it's the journey.
Yeah.
I dropped the Yankees and the Rangers. If you look at my senior year high school yearbook, you would think I was a bigger Rangers fan than Jets fan.
Well, also because the baseball cards, I thought you'd be a bigger baseball fan.
I was a bigger Yankees fan as a kid than a Jets fan. I was a bigger Rangers fan than a Jets fan in high school, but they both won championships, and I stopped caring.
Oh, wow.
And so now the Jets have the longevity, and they were always right there. And I was probably a bigger Jet. I would say equal, but like, yeah.
Yeah. So do you not practice anything in the Jewish?
No, I do. I got Rosh Hashanah coming up. I'll be home.
So you'll do all
I do,
those
but I'm not. I hate the bullshit. I'm not hardcore.
Right. Like you're not. Well, you don't keep kosher.
I do not keep kosher. I don't do Seder on Friday nights.
Shabbat, you don't do Shabbat.
I do not do Shabbat.
How about your family? Like your actual.
No.
Like your no. Was your wife Jewish?
Yes.
Just me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's but it's not the
Yeah.
Obviously everyone runs their gamut, but on humanity,
Yeah.
I'm all time. Look, I probably have a subconscious struggle with religion because I do think it leads to bad behavior.
Right, or they use it as an excuse
Correct.
for
Correct.
bad behavior.
It's not its fault to your point, but it is absolutely a beacon for bad behavior.
Yeah.
Like politics.
And I've seen it. Everyone's seen it a lot of times.
And so I always have I'm just into team human. So I don't like animals or Mother Nature.
You don't like animals either?
I definitely don't like animals. The way normal people do.
Right, you don't go crazy over it.
I don't hate animals. I just love fucking people.
Right.
I just can't get fired up about a parrot.
Right, or a dog or a cat.
I definitely am not as into dogs and cats as many others. I love that people are. I just wish people were more into people.
Right, not would you say nature also?
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand if you ruin, here come the comments, I can read them for you. Gary, if you fucking ruin Earth, you won't be around for, I understand. I don't want to destroy the Earth. I just don't look at a tree and be like, hey, my dad looks at trees, he's amazed by it. He loves a fucking tree more than loves any human besides me and my mom. I mean, it's fuck, it's a tree, dude.
Right.
So
you kind of keep things, again, the theme is keeping things in perspective.
100%.
Right, and being self-aware, which we're going to talk about, but next
Next time.
Thank you
you
so much.